Thank you. Good morning. I'd like to call to order this regular meeting of the Guam Educational Telecommunications Corporation. Today is Thursday, January 26th. The time is 12:23 p.m. As we go around the room table, please state your name and your title. I'm Donovan Brooks, Chair.
Rosemary Clement, member. Lorraine Hernandez, Administrative Officer.
Ina Carrillo, GM.
Judy Flores, sorry, Secretary.
Mariflor Herrero, Treasurer.
Thank you. You have the minutes of December 15 in your packet.
I'm trying to find it because it's way back there, right?
Oh, it's right here.
Oh, no, it should be,
No, here. It's up here.
yeah, right behind the minute.
First page.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Or second
No,
page.
it's right here.
Oh,
It's right after the
yeah,
agenda.
okay.
Yes. What? Oh, this one? For,
That's the business card.
yeah, we don't
The
need,
equipment.
oh, but it's not stated. So we don't, oh,
No,
you
we're
needed
canceling.
the old.
Because of that. The
What,
70
was it last-
7,000.
I remember that I did that.
So seeking a motion to approve the minutes of Thursday, December 15.
I second.
Oh, you got to make a motion. I'm seeking,
Oh,
in search of. So you can make the motion to.
I
to
make a motion that we accept the minutes from
Thursday, December 15.
March
Thursday. Thursday?
December 15th.
I'm sorry, December 15th.
Okay. Second it. So nobody second it?
You can't?
I'm the secretary.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can't? Is that,
Yeah.
okay? I'm not sure
So
that,
Mayor Flo.
why would you not be able to?
She's supposed to be doing
Supposedly
it.
I wrote
She
them in.
wrote the
Yeah.
minutes.
Ah, okay. But that's actually
No,
not the case because they're digitally recorded,
still,
It's
Still cannot.
Robert's rules.
okay? Mary Flor, then I would need you to second the motion.
Yes, I second the motion.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I wonder if there's some way that we can work around that.
Work around what?
Well, the point was made that the secretary was not, was not able to second the motion that was just carried because in her position, she's responsible for the minutes. So that makes sense to me,
Oh, like
but,
a conflict of interest?
yeah, kind of like that. I
As
mean,
long as we have a quorum,
yep,
there will be somebody.
as long as we have someone else to do it, yeah, no, that's fine. Okay, great. All right, moving on.
Good point.
Review and approval of the minutes, we did that. The general manager's report to the board.
Okay. So this month in administration, we were, PBS, we were just wrapping up our audit. We did have our final audit, our meeting with the OPA and with our auditors. And I think we're just waiting on some final numbers before the audit is finished. And those are, well, we just got the numbers from the retirement fund, and now we just need the dividends from DOA. And as soon as we get those numbers in, then auditors can complete our audit for this year. Regarding the renovation, we had a presentation made by EMSCO Engineering Consultants and DPW at the office today, this week on Tuesday. The preliminary budget for the renovation is $3.2 million. The mock-up of the designs were presented to us, and we were given an extensive budget breakdown. Right now, it's the 60% completed design that is what was presented. We need to give them, it's pending some additional input. So basically, we need to give them a priority list of what we would like to see done so that it could work with our budget, and then we'll have to break the renovation down in phases. So the first two phases of the renovation would entail the renovation of the whole building, basically, and then the third phase of the renovation would be building a generator room in the back and the perimeter fencing. We plan to go under government review and have a finalized design by April 2nd. So I've attached what was presented. Well, it's just a few pages of what was presented. This is what was presented to us. And you can see the cost breakdown in this first packet. So this kind of breaks down all the projects that will be completed and what the costs are. It's about 7 or 8 pages. And then what also attached is going to be the design or layout design. So the first page of the drawings are our building as we know it now. The second page would be the building with the designs, and you can see the carport, which is on that side, and then the this thing here, which is the generator room, which is on the other end by where the power panel box is. And then this is kind of like the interior. The next page is the current interior layout. And then the following page will be the proposed interior layout. So you could see there's more, it's a more open concept for,
What are you talking, it's hard to know which page you're talking, you're on the very last page?
we're on
She was going
page
by
4.
page, what,
Yeah.
No page.
The page numbers are actually what, these little numbers on the bottom, A101.
Oh, so you're on 101?
Yeah, so A100 is our current layout as it is. A101 is the proposed layout with the addition of the GW space and full usage of all of the buildings. So you notice like the electrical room, we haven't been able to use it because it's, the electrical panels have been in disrepair and it's water leaking and stuff. So we're gonna be able to use all the space. Yeah. So Lorraine and I are going through it now and we're seeing what we can cut and shave off the budget so that it fits in our budget.
What is our budget?
Well, right now it's 3.2 million. We have,
I mean, what do we
we have
have?
1.8 right now. It's a little bit of a shortfall,
Just a little bit.
but I'm confident that we can find the rest. I have a couple meetings
I
next
don't know, maybe I missed something, but how much did you pay for this?
170,000.
Is that like normal? I mean, it's so over my head, but I trust that you know that that's the correct.
yeah, because this is the print, the fine,
It's a local company?
I mean, this is the
Yes.
report they gave me. It's 500 pages long. Yeah, it's a local, it's an engineering firm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And really, we went to bid with DPW. They
They're the
published the RFQs. And after we met with DPW and told them what the scope is, we had no control over who bid and who submitted bids,
Oh, so you didn't choose this company?
No, we didn't. It was done through DPW. They received it was sealed bids. They received the sealed bids. They called us when it was ready to open, and we opened them and got the lowest bid.
So that was EMSCO?
Yeah.
It was through bidding as
What's the
well?
name of this company?
EMSCO,
EMSCO.
EMSCO.
And is this local
MP.
or?
Yes,
It's
they're
a
local.
It's a local engineering firm. Yeah. And they've been here several times over the last few months.
Yeah.
So this plan is 60% done. We need to give some more input. And so we talked about breaking up the renovation in phases, so it's something more affordable for us, but I'm also gonna try to find some additional money to pay for it, so we could just do the whole thing at one time.
And so this company would be actually the ones doing the construction?
No, they're just building the design for us. They're our
The blueprint.
engineers.
Yeah.
So once we have a 100% approved plan,
It goes up for
they
bid.
it'll go up for bid again with DPW for contractor. And once the contractor is selected, together with EMSCO, they'll work with them to
Together.
build. Or, EMSCO would be like
It's a
their
long
consultant.
project.
Yeah, so they're
I mean,
looking
getting
at,
anything, but getting a house built, I mean,
Yeah.
especially
I mean,
now.
there is a timeline, right, for all of this. And so we're looking at being done with construction by July of next year.
So,
Really?
Yeah.
so once the construction begins, EMSCO will take care of making sure that the construction company follows it.
They'll provide
their
the construction
blueprints.
company with the architectural
Blueprints.
designs and the blueprints, and they'll work with the construction company, I guess as a consultant or whatever, until the project is
So
done.
who will pay EMSCO at that time?
That's
paying.
part of the fee that
Oh,
we're
it's
paying.
part of the fee. The 170,000 is part of the fee. Okay.
Yeah.
Will we require a separate construction manager for the actual,
EMSCO will take care of, with DPW,
okay?
yeah. So DPW will oversee the whole
Yes.
project, basically, but, together with EMSCO, because they're the
Where
engineers.
is the front door? Is this the front door now?
What
The bottom of the page?
Where is
You're
it?
looking at
Porch?
which page? What is
101.
your- 101.
Yeah, where, I mean, I know it's gonna be all changed, but where
The
is
front is-
the front door now?
It's gonna still remain the same.
Oh, here.
So right here,
Okay, here.
this is the porch that covered.
Oh, yeah, okay.
In the front.
Then, okay. And then,
So we're adding a carport here. And then
okay.
And the back.
this is the GW space here. So here's the studio that we're in right now. We're adding all of this space here.
And what is this new office number 5? What is that?
Oh,
That's
that
the
was supposed to be the
mezzanine.
mezzanine.
Oh, on the second floor.
Second floor.
Yeah.
I like the idea of having second floor mezzanine. I mean, take
An
up less
office.
space and more efficient
Yeah,
use of
because they
space.
really need a lot of storage. I mean, you can see there's boxes everywhere.
And that's possible because that space has a very high ceiling.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was actually the engineer's suggestion to try to utilize that space. Because really, we just need a carport. We don't need a fully enclosed garage for the van.
But no, if this is the front door, oh, so then this, I'm trying to, from where we
It's
go.
going to be on
The
the
car-
other side.
Oh,
Yeah,
The
where,
carport will be
right
in
now
front-
where the van's at,
yeah.
that's where the new carport will be,
In front of the satellite.
in front of the
Oh,
satellite.
okay. And I just was noticing today, although I see it all the time, is this sort of giant tin shack right on the other side. Is that something that GW uses it, or is that something you're trying to get to use?
Oh, in the front here?
Yeah.
That's GW's, the one on the other side, where the fence.
like a-
Oh, yeah.
Inside the
Tin-
fence,
junky
yeah,
looking-
that's not
That's
ours.
their storage.
Yeah, that's
Or
GW's.
their junk storage. Yeah, it's like their,
In a junk
Yeah.
building, yeah.
yeah, I think it's like where they put their broken, like, chairs and stuff.
So the main point is that we expect to be done next July.
Next summer.
Next summer, okay.
Well, have you any wild figure, or what you're gonna cut out to make it, it's practically
Yep.
twice as much as you're saying.
So basically, the first phase will be getting the priority list is the power. Power is
Yeah.
number one. We need to make sure that this place is wired properly and that it can support the load that we are using, right?
Yep.
So that is my first priority, is the power. And then we'll, of course, renovate the rest of the spaces. Oh, we needed to add an
Office.
ADA bathroom connecting to this one, so there'll be 2 women's bathrooms and 2 men's bathrooms, so that's kind of a second priority. Because this bathroom here is not ADA, so we're not in compliance. And I think a lot of the reason for the expense is because they need to level this whole place, because, there's different levels, and it's impossible for a wheelchair to get in and out of.
And,
any-
well, where will you all be hanging out during this?
We'll have to work in phases,
Phases.
so,
I mean, you're saying they're gonna tear down this building?
not tear
No.
it down, renovate it, rehab.
It's like the spaces will be not, some of the
Well, I
walls.
could see office kind of people working other places, but the studio, I mean, you have a broadcast here, you have all the PBS television. I mean, it must be very hard to move stuff.
Well,
like
the
that.
only thing that really needs to stay right now,
Is the
I mean,
studio.
is the studio, but we don't plan to touch the studio. This studio, we don't
be
plan
the
to touch too much. We're just opening it up and expanding, and then.
It's
so-
just a door.
Yeah.
The door.
Eventually, all of production can work in here, and then MCO will be kind of tricky because we want to stay on the air as much as possible.
Yeah.
So that little office in the back
Will be
will
open,
stay.
yeah.
Will be untouched until it absolutely
Everything's
needs to
done.
be touched, and then we'll have to go down. We won't be able to broadcast for a couple days.
Because actually that room is just really the flooring
Yeah,
and,
it's really just
yeah,
tiling and
it's not-
painting. It's not going to be long.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, we're just gonna work in phases.
God bless us, that's what I say.
Yeah, it's not gonna be too much of a big deal.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we got a lot of practice of teleworking during COVID, so, and we seemed to be pretty productive when we did that. But we're gonna work in phases, and, if push comes to shove, we might have to have, maybe I can ask Adelup if we could have some empty office space and we can work from there, like as a satellite office for now.
And is Adelup aware of all this? I mean, have you shared this with the governor's office?
I'm gonna actually present this next week to them. But then they know that we're trying to renovate. So we just got this on Tuesday, so I was able to meet with the LT yesterday, so I'm gonna present it next week.
Okay.
Yeah, but I
Very
think it's pretty
impressive.
exciting because, we're finally gonna be able to provide a creative space for our staff. Like, really, we're all, the development staff, they're really just so cramped. Development, production, even programming, it's just, everybody is just working in such close quarters You know, there's one room in the back here where we had 5 production guys at one time and a kitchen sink inside there. So like, it's very,
Yeah.
we need the space, and it's been long overdue. Okay, so that is the renovation presentation. The production schedule will be as follows. Hopefully, we can get 100% of the plan by April 2nd. And so April 2nd to July 2nd is the bid solicitation with DPW. And then on the 2nd, they will award a construction company the contract. Once that happens, construction should be about 365 days. So from July 2nd to beginning part of July 2024, we should be able to, we'll be under construction, and then by 2024, we'll be able to move back in or be functional again. Also, I communicated with Jace Bravo, and he informed me that he intends to submit his resignation from the board. Once I receive it, I'll provide the legal, JC, our youth board member. Once I get his formal resignation, I'll send it to the legal office so that they can appoint somebody. But as chairman recommended, we should also solicit for board.
I don't remember how
members.
he joined us.
He was just appointed.
By the governor's office?
Yeah. And then regarding production, we broadcasted the governor's inauguration ceremony on January 3rd, live from the field house. And it was a really good production.
It was great.
It was nice.
It was great.
It's very clear, and our production
Yeah.
value, I think, was really high. I was happy with it. And the setup was so nice. The guys had all
Yeah.
their new equipment, looked so professional.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, today, we had our team at Aspen Park to stream the Marine Corps base, Camp Blah's reactivation or naming ceremony. And we've been working with MWR and their military counterparts for the last 2 months to broadcast, not to broadcast, but to stream. And they were actually taking our stream to feed, like I mentioned, to broadcast on their platform. PBS University Higher Learning Season 7 is in production. It's just wrapping up. We're almost done. And this season features Dr. Carson from UOG. He's an associate professor of archaeology. And he will take us on a journey on the history of Guam's latte stones and archaeology. This season will include 14 30-minute episodes, and we will publish it on our YouTube channel. We're looking at this, probably broadcasting this in the next month.
Is this, this thing with the professor from the university, is this in the afternoon? This is for like high school kids?
Yeah.
What time is it?
I'll check with Kel, but I think he was looking at somewhere between the 1 and 2 o'clock hour.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
Okay, I'll let you know as soon as it airs. It's also going to be available on YouTube, on the PBS University channel.
Yeah, if you let us know when that is,
Okay,
when it
I
will
will.
be available, I would be interested.
We're also preparing to show this year's gift showcase. This will air in April and May. It's 8 episodes of new programming, 2-hour episodes each, and they will feature submissions from the last Guam International Film Festival. This has been a really great partnership between us because we've been kind of exclusively broadcasting gift content, right? Where formerly you'd have to go either to the movie theater or to the gift the festival to watch the submissions. So PBS has been really I think supportive of the Guam International Film Festival, and we're really open to
So these things
broadcasting.
that you're going to be broadcasting, those are the ones that were shown?
submissions.
Oh, because I missed the one
There's some really good ones.
that is on a boat or something, I don't know, off, something to do with New Zealand or Australia.
I'm not sure, but I know they get hundreds.
No, I went to some of them, but
I think
the
this year they
first,
got 1,000 submissions.
I'm going to ask Don.
So Kel will scrub it, and he decides which ones we should run. And I don't know if they're all 2 hours, or if he just makes a
In
combination.
April and May?
Yes, in April and May. So
So-
starting April it'll be weekly.
And
for
you
8
think you'll be sending a mention of that in
We'll
a?
make a promo, and we run it on TV, but I can also send it to the board.
Yeah, I'd like to know, because I really would like to see that.
Also, another project we're working on for local programming is Chamorro Master Series, and it's new local programming for PBS. We're looking at working in partnership with CAHA, and we've been working with Vince Regis already. This program will be several seasons long, and the first season will have about 5 episodes featuring Governor Lulu Leon Guerrero, Flora Bazaquan, Polly Eric Forbes, Dr. Underwood, and Johnny Sablon. And that's who we have slated for season 1.
I'm sorry, when is this?
One recommending us.
When is this happening?
in the plan.
We're planning it right now.
Oh,
So we'll start production soon. But originally we were thinking of I think it was one of the board meetings where we were talking about doing something on Johnny Sablon, was it?
Yeah.
Chairman?
Yeah, we have talked about it.
Joey. So that's kind of where this is spinning at. Like we've kind of put our.
but this would be like a regular show on
Yes.
television.
It's
like-
gonna
like-
be a regular.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a regular show. We're planning for several seasons, and we're gonna expand to all the masters of Guam. So I'm excited about that too.
Sounds good.
Regarding development, readathon. Basically, that was all our development was able to do in the last month. We were wrapping up, counting the funding, all the pledges, ordering prizes, delivering prizes. So ceremony and prize distribution was completed by January 21st. Award ceremony took place this Saturday at Agana Shopping Center. In total, there were 17 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and 14 daycares, totaling over 800 students island-wide. And we also provided pizza prizes to the schools that had the top classes that yielded the most pledges. So every school got a pizza party. So we did that on Friday, was it Friday?
Last week.
We did it on Friday and then dropped, it was pretty extensive. We dropped prizes to every school, prizes for teachers, every school, and then the pizza parties. And so we did a lot of driving this month. This is a little P&L of the readathon. You can see that sponsorship revenue total was about $6,400. Total in pledges that we received was about $57,744.03. So that leaves us with a total of $64,144.03. Total expenses were about $16,370.08, and that is to include prizes, printing, and a little bit of ads on the post. So altogether, we netted about $47,773.95 for this year's readathon. Not too bad.
No, I think that's great.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but
Yeah.
I think that, and I'm pretty proud that we've been able to do, we just did a readathon in May and June. So to yield this high amount, I think is it's phenomenal. I'm super proud of development and the whole team because we really all had to work together to make sure that all the prizes were delivered on time, right? Especially the pizza parties, we were stressed out because everyone needed to get their pizza by lunchtime. Oh my God. Yeah.
That's good.
So I think that, one more thing I just hand wrote. In the last meeting, we had purchase order 2023-027 for equipment in the amount of $7,073.75. I'm not sure if you remember, it was the stabilizer equipment for master control. They needed it's the one that stabilizes the video feed. And we were gonna get 2 stabilizers, frames, video frame sync equipments, right? And the total was $7,073.75. Anyway, we placed the order for the equipment, and
Is this the one? Is this it? 42?
No.
No.
It was last
it was
meeting.
in last meeting. We just had to
It was
cancel.
approved, yeah.
We had to. The board approved it. The purchase. It was their $7,000. It's right here. I'll pass it around. But we had to cancel it because the vendor canceled the order. They refunded us back because it was out of stock or discontinued.
Oh.
So we're searching for some equipment now that will be compatible.
Well, when you got that, she wanted to pass it around. She said,
When we had ordered it, it was available. They gave us the quote and it was available. But then when we did order it,
can you go back to the other people that didn't get the bid?
nobody
They're
else
the
had
only
it.
one.
Oh,
Yeah.
So we're looking, there is an upgrade for the equipment, but John Munia doesn't think that the upgrade would be compatible, so we're just, we're gonna cancel that, and as soon as we get word, we'll reorder. So,
You mean when that company thinks they will get it eventually?
no, it's discontinued, so
Oh.
the equipment's obsolete. Our equipment, that's why we wanted to buy two, because we wanted a backup because it's obsolete.
Oh.
But it's just not available anymore. So we're canceling that. And-
You know, I have a little question about this, about the cost estimate. So if we go over here to the first page, and then it gives you summary of a schedule. So civil, architectural, and all that, and then it's given in these other pages. Okay, so that's pretty good. It's outline and everything. But the only thing that I am thinking is the prime contractor work. So the prime field overhead is, they are estimating it would be 12%, right? 12% of this prime, the 2,485. Okay, so, okay, now the prime office overhead is 3%. And that is to pay their office? Or their office, the time
This is
that their
just-
office people are going to put
This
in
is
the
their cost estimate of what they think a construction company, based on our current rates, what the construction company would charge us.
Okay, so the profit, they are estimating a profit, an overhead of 3%, then a profit of 8%, then a bond premium, and then a gross receipt tax of 5.21. Isn't the gross receipt 4%?
I thought the GRT is 5, but I don't know.
But they put 5.21. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is that this price down here is an estimate, but
Yes,
it's a little bit,
inflated.
yes.
And you can see that if you look at the rest of it, each line item has a contingency also. So, this is just an estimate of what they think may cost us. But I'm been told that once the construction company is chosen, we go into a negotiation phase with the construction company so we can negotiate the prices.
Okay.
So they're just giving us an estimate right now. Their fee was the $170,000 and they're done, and we haven't paid them all of it, but that is their fee. But part of their work is to provide us with an accurate quote of what
Something that we can
estimation
work with.
of what, yes.
Yeah. Okay,
But this does also include contingencies for every single phase or project. So, it could be short, it could be less, like, maybe
so basically,
3,
this is like
just an estimate.
an estimate that you can work with.
Yes.
And then you negotiate when.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we don't really know the exact price of what the construction company will charge
Yeah.
us. So this is just like an estimate to follow along with them. If it's higher, it's lower, lower is good.
Yeah.
Now, where are we getting, you say you have $1,800,000. Where's that coming from?
We have it if you look at the financial report, we're going to read it next, but
Yeah.
we've had that, and it's been sitting in,
Oh.
one of our accounts because it's our capital improvement fund. And
Does it get interest?
It
That's with
does.
the PBS University
That
account.
all comes from work that we've done with PBS
PBS
University and the
University.
grants that we've been able to get. So we receive these grants, we bill for the work, and it goes into our private fund. And so we've just earmarked all of that money for the capital improvement.
And is there any federal money still floating around for something like this?
I know the Department of Interior has grants that we could use, had a grant that we could use, but I think the grant application deadline was in late December. So we wouldn't be able to apply for anything until next year or the end of this year. I know that Homeland Security has another grant that maybe we can get for the fencing and stuff like that. We did try to get it last year, and that's why I put that on phase 3, because I'm gonna try to apply for that again this year. That'll save us about $80,000, $84,000. So there are other grants, we're looking, and that's why, in part, also I'm going to meet up at Adelup next week, because I want to see if there's any other grant opportunities, and maybe, or even just funding opportunities, to fund the rest of this, so we can just complete it in one shot instead of phase. Yeah.
Okay. That's a big deal, the whole thing.
Yeah, I think it really is,
Kind
and
of
you know, I think
overwhelming,
it's
yeah.
you know, like it's long overdue for PBS. You know, we haven't bugged, or I don't think PBS has ever really bothered any administration for any kind of capital repairs. You know, yeah, I think the first day I started, there was the tree growing on the roof, so like, and I don't think we'd had ever
Yeah.
water blasted the roof since, you know, the board asked to have it done. So, yeah, I think
There was no money available.
it's not a big request.
I mean,
is what I'm trying to say.
We're lucky that, I mean, not lucky, but there was federal money that was
Yeah.
given, so.
Yeah.
And the more you keep putting off the renovation of the building, the more expensive it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
it's
you
gonna
know,
go
I
up.
think the strategy with all of the money that we did receive from federal grants was to hold as much money as we could, and you know, like kind of tighten up our belts and just, you know, be very frugal this whole year, you know, and save so that we could try to renovate. So.
So I would just like to add that one of the reasons why the station never got to this point in the past is we didn't have someone who was in the driver's seat long enough to figure out what was needed. And
Good point.
now this happened, and this is the result, so I'm happy.
I'll be happy next year.
When everything's done,
We'll have new keys.
when everything's done.
Okay, so I think that's it with my report.
Okay? Thank you. Financial statements review.
I only have the balance sheet right now. We had Jerry's girls come in to close, but I'm looking at the numbers and it wasn't really, there's some adjustment that wasn't done, so I didn't want to present it. But as
Who
for
did you say came in?
Jerry, that does our
Oh.
closing of the books.
Oh.
Yeah,
You know?
so,
The tax shelter. The tax shelter.
yes, yes. So, so that's why I just presented the balance sheet as of December and what we have.
Okay.
Okay? And if you're looking at where's that 1.8 is there, you know, on account 1008, that's where the money that we're looking at for the renovation.
Was that on the second page?
The first page. Where the asset on the front, the top.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
1008.
Yeah,
That's right, it's TDOA.
yeah.
I think that was something I questioned in the last report.
Yeah, it's just an account.
One thing that I would just like to note, and for future, maybe the board can address it in the future, is I've never really understood under liabilities, the, you know, the pension liability and, you know, the numbers that we have here, which, you know, 4 million in liabilities. I would just like to gain a better understanding of what that entails, maybe going forward, how we can do that. And if there's anything we need to do to prepare the station to deal with that. Right, we have all this leave, liability.
Where's this? Am I on the right page?
Page 2.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a long-term liability on what,
oh, okay.
if anyone
Hey.
retires, you know, within the government of Guam and with in-house, that is the liability that we need to address.
So we have to be prepared for that somehow.
Well, most of it is Gov Guam, so you don't really, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't really
Great,
need
don't
to
we?
worry about it because it's, most of this account is dealing with the government of Guam.
But if it's someone that's not under the government of Guam? I mean, who's
The
here?
CSG, it's not,
401.
yeah, it's not much liability on the CSG because the only thing we pay out is their annual leave. Yeah.
Oh,
So not like government of Guam is different, because whatever they receive during their 25 years, they still get income coming in through the retirement fund.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even though it shows a pension liability of whatever, 3 million or 1 million,
Yeah.
that's a liability that is borne by the retirement fund.
Yes.
It just shows on our books.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions? Four?
No, right now it's okay.
So we have to know littering.
And the page that's missing is the page that shows things like power and water and those.
Yeah, the salary and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw it, I didn't want to present it because they didn't
fine.
add in the government of Guam, within this income, and then, and then also with the CSG,
Okay.
minusing it off. But there's some adjustment, you have to do adjustment, but
Okay, we're good.
Anyway, the only thing I just don't know why he does this. It says, fund balance plan 4,750,000, and then it says retained earnings minus 150,000.
where you at?
In
the equity.
In the very bottom. And then prior adjustment to the retained earnings 31, and then net income. How can you have a negative net income? I mean, I don't know how he does that, why he does that.
Because prior year, we have adjustments that is pending. So every year, as the auditor closes, they have adjustments that we need to go back and either remove it from the books, because we have a whole lot. And there's no way we can go back. I mean, this is going back probably way. That's why I asked for a printout of it. And yeah, so whatever the auditor, again, this year, what they're going to ask us to adjust, that will lower down.
But it says retained earnings, and retained earnings is a negative figure. So how can it be retained earnings negative? I don't understand that.
It's, how did he explain it? But
And then net income also negative.
it's an in and out. So we only adjust a little of it.
I think that this is being made so that you can have the liabilities and equity total, equal the assets. But I don't know, there's good, sometimes if there is a loss, sometimes you just have to write it off.
We just need to go back on what we're going to write off. In order for us to do that,
If it's collectible or if it's visible, then do it. If not, then
yeah, I don't think, there's a lot of pledges and, yeah. Maybe we can ask him, for more understanding. Because as the audit knows, they know what needs to be. They asked us, what do we need to adjust? And looking back at all the records, we can get rid of all the pledges, we can get all, there's some
all
underwritings
these
that's
pledges
not.
that were pledged and they were not paid.
Yes, so also even underwritings,
Sometimes you just have to.
yeah. And that's why we're moving forward, that if it's not paid by October, the starting, we closed it out. But in the previous audits, they didn't, they just roll it over.
When were these pledges made?
Way back.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, like you're talking years when you say way back?
Now we're just writing
See,
along.
with our QuickBooks, it's about 18 years into QuickBooks, all our files.
And you mean somebody
There's a lot of
pledged, what,
pledges.
like, what do you
Before the
mean?
practice was to roll it over to the next year, fiscal year.
No, I mean, what are these pledges? Like someone, like if I donate $100, I say I'm going to and then I don't. That's what you're talking about, right? Okay.
Telethons or underwriting, where,
Yeah.
Okay.
clients want to do some sort of event and then they never pay.
Yeah.
And you don't pursue that?
It hasn't happened lately, but it has happened in the past.
Yeah. just as last fiscal year, last audit, we just started to do write-off. The minute they don't pay within the next fiscal year, we write them off. Yeah, but in the past
I think
practice.
that's much more clean and
Yeah,
proper way of doing it.
but,
than-
you know, if we're gonna start, I mean, we've been trying to open a new company, starting, you know, fiscal
In
year.
QuickBooks.
In QuickBooks, because this file is so, since we started QuickBooks.
Voluminous.
Yeah. And to go back and find which one is, even the auditor can't figure it out. So what he does is adjustment, whatever is in the prior 2 years,
Just,
they
yeah.
do the adjustment.
Way back, you just forget about it, yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna keep on, this will continue until we do a new company, open a new company, and then try to write that whole thing off.
Is that happening? Are we moving in that direction?
We'll see with this audit, after this audit is done,
No.
because there was a lot of adjustment, you know.
Ernest and Young will do the audit as well, right?
Yeah, they're
it
doing
now.
our audit.
They're almost done.
Okay.
They're almost done, yeah. for this
Have they
fiscal year.
mentioned anything about this?
They're trying to figure it out on how we're going to do adjustment on that a full amount, but yet it wasn't solved since they first started.
Yeah, I think last year
Yeah.
they were addressing it too.
Yeah.
And
Well, it doesn't affect the.
It doesn't, no.
But it's in the
Just
book.
links
It's in the
to
book. It's going to carry on. That's why I said it'll always carry on until we really move in and just adjust the whole thing. And yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, but the point is noted, though, that, you know, it may not affect our operations, but it doesn't look good on the books, right? So, yeah. Okay, great.
And, well, since we're talking about finances, what's this thing about, you know, BJ in the paper saying they're questioning money that we got? Remember that a couple weeks ago? Office of Public Accounting.
That was after that was before the meeting we had with them. And so basically, after having our UG audit, the auditors have determined that some of the funding that we used, or some of the billing that we made for PBS University was, what was the word? It was not approved billing,
yeah.
unauthorized billing, which is just our production billing, you know, like we produced the PBS University. I mean, so we had an MOU with the department, with State Clearinghouse, right?
Yeah.
And
DOA.
for ESF, with the ESF funds. We had the MOU. This MOU is vetted, first of all, approved by the Department of Education, who is the grantor giving the money, the funding, right? So it's approved by the Department of Education, and then it also is approved by everybody in the government, DOA, BBMR, the AG's office, and the governor's office, and the State Clearinghouse. So we have the MOU, and we followed the MOU. But then when the auditors audited our books, they said that some of the funding was unauthorized for the grant. But when we looked at the
You
funding,
showed
it was all of
graphs.
our production work.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. What do? Do we follow the MOU? Or do I totally disregard the MOU and do what the auditors say, but I'm not going to jail, so I'm following the MOU.
Yeah.
And the MOU was approved by the Clearinghouse, who gave the funding, and approved by the Department of Education, who gave them the funding. So it's just a disagreement with what the cost is, right? The auditors think that, because it was all related to production, the auditors think that, well, our cost is our rate card, which is approved by our board. We approve every year a new rate card. And it says that 1 hour of production costs this and whatever, creative costs this. So that's our cost. So we bill it that way as hourly, right? PBS University runs for 30 minutes, it costs this much. Higher Learning runs for 1 hour, it costs this much. And there's an affidavit with every broadcast and everything. It's the opinion of the auditor that the cost is, like, for instance, MCO, it takes them 4 seconds to push the button, so it should be 4 seconds of their hourly rate, plus a portion of the power, plus a portion of the CSG membership fee, plus what is the actual cost to run. That's their definition of cost. So our our definition of cost as to what we build as clearinghouse will never match up to what their definition of cost is. So the price difference is what they're saying is unauthorized. So, but we're never gonna agree, because my rate is, my cost is my rate associated with my rate card approved by my board. I don't have another cost, and that's what it is. And we're
But
never
I
gonna
guess
agree.
what their thing is, and that's why this UG audit, we had to follow a specification of the UG audit, is cash-based payment. Meaning whatever it costs to do that, that's what we're supposed to only charge.
But we're never
But
gonna
we
do
had to
that.
follow our rate sheet.
We're never gonna do that.
But we
That will
can't.
jeopardize our ability
Yeah.
to bill other agencies, because we need to offer the same rate across the board.
And I think the reason too is because of the way we were written into the grant
And the
as
way-
a sub-grantee.
And the way that they're
Which-
understanding the grant and how funds could have been used.
Yeah,
But on the same note, we have a memo of understanding. It's a legal binding contract that we have that has been vetted through the Attorney General of Guam and the Governor's Office and the Department of Education, who issues the funding, and we followed that. We followed the MOU. So, I even asked the auditors, who are you to say that this MOU is not valid? Because the grantor approved it.
yeah,
So
they're not
we're
really.
just never gonna
yeah.
agree. That's why I'm just
It's,
like,
they're not questioning the MOU thing, is just because of what the UG, if you look at the UG, how it's supposed to be spent.
yeah. But
That is
in
the only thing.
MOU, it
says on our
how we're
MOU.
gonna spend
Yeah.
the money. We're going to produce this. We're going to broadcast this. So we're just never gonna agree. And the media outlets unfortunately didn't ask for comments,
See,
so they just ran a one-sided story.
So it seems to me that the conflict or the issue is that BJ saw what the audit said.
Yes.
Right? The auditor said.
Yes.
And just believe the auditor. And based on what
Basically,
the
that-
auditor say, made his questions without contacting you to
Well,
clear.
I can say that the first I heard about that, I knew what the auditors were saying, but the newspaper
Well, how do they get
story
this?
was the
were
first
they-
I heard about it in the media, and we had a scheduled meeting with the OPA and with our auditors for after that, so it was released New Year's Eve, and our meeting to discuss it was
The next week.
the next week.
So that's what I was asking.
So
Donovan.
I kind of felt thrown under the bus.
I know, but who decided to
One
write this
at a time,
article?
please. One at a time, please.
So who called the media? Was it BJ?
It was
it
released by the
auditor?
OPA's office. It was published on their website. They got it, and
See, that's what
It's
I'm
because of
saying.
what the
is
report
what
says.
does BJ has with that?
So I don't believe there's any agenda out of the OPA. I believe what happened was the OPA did their job, and they published their findings, and the Post, or whoever it
Took
was, the media outlet
Yeah.
that published the story, simply
Based on.
did their job in reviewing the website, finding something that had some question,
What news is-
and ran with that story.
Yeah,
But I don't believe that there's any,
mismanagement of money is what they were saying. But
Yeah.
it was even funny because right before the audit started, I went into Lorraine's office and I was like, pretty proud of PBS University. Like I felt like I was telling her, we spent all the money. Like, look, we don't look at this big grant we got. We didn't have to return any of the money, and then this all happened. So, it really, I'm fine with it. I know that we didn't mismanage any money. There's no money missing, nothing. We billed everything that MOU said that we needed to bill. And as far as I'm concerned, I followed the MOU, and I'm happy.
Well, when you went to the meeting, after that was in the paper, did they apologize or?
No, they didn't apologize because they
did their
believe
work.
that their cost is correct, and I believe that my cost is correct. So we were yelling at each other, and
Oh.
then we're both upset when we left the meeting. But we just I know that they're trying to make me understand what the cost is, and I understand that. But
yeah.
PBS's cost is our rate card, and that's the bottom line. That's our rate card. That's our cost. I don't make up the board. I don't make up the cost. The board approves the rates, so that's what it is. And
so this is a apples, oranges kind of thing where somebody sees it one way, somebody sees it the other way. We know, as the board, that the transfer, the path of that money was totally legitimate.
Yeah.
So,
It's just based on that UG audit that they have to follow, was the expense, this, all the line items.
And we documented everything.
So the thing about it is really the line item on that audit type, on what's supposed to be spent is not the same as our
It's
regular
matching.
audit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is UG audit?
Unified
Guidance.
guidance. Yeah, because of the amount is given to us, they have to
I think
follow
anything
that.
over 750,000 needs to be
Yeah.
audited in that manner.
Yeah, so we did our job. And we
I'm
did-
happy.
OPA did their job.
Yeah, so
And
it's
then
really
the media kind of found
took
something
it
that
and-
looked like
yes.
a headline.
Yeah.
But didn't do their job in terms of, getting both sides of the story, but that's,
Yeah, that's how it is.
okay.
I mean, like, I can say something, but it's not what I said, right? It's what you read or what you heard, and
Did we answer your question?
More or less, yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
I mean,
that's,
Well, I believe that the public auditor, right, which is his office, once they got the information from the auditors, even before they say anything, they should have contacted you and ask you to explain, and to say what's going on, and then you explain to them what you explain to us. I mean, what's approved by the board, with him is okay. And that's fine, and if anything, then agree to disagree, right? As
Yeah.
to how the expenses are being written out. But I don't really think that anyway, it just didn't look good for
Yeah.
PBS to have that.
I was surprised to see it in the paper too.
Yeah.
But, after reading the story, I was like, I mean, that's what the auditors have been saying, but it's, I mean, I don't know how many times we'd sit here with the auditors talking to them and, they don't want to hear me and, I'm not listening to them and, it's just that kind of situation, they believe that,
yeah, I read up with the UG audit what it's supposed to be, but it's really not what we're there, but what can we do?
I know.
We
That's-
build what we need to build, and we got what we need to, that,
And
we did
I feel like
the
we-
service.
Yeah,
We
and
did the
it's already
service.
service rendered, so
Yeah.
even if they don't want to pay it, I'm going to ask them to pay it because we did the work.
Yep, yeah.
We did the work.
Okay.
So this is not the first time that KGTF has popped up in the news following this type of OPA review. And all we can do is just keep our eye on the ball and know that the station has made vast strides in the last 2 years and
That's what
a
I'm
little.
saying, we were so
Yeah.
good at
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
everything she's asking is always through the board, so.
So we're
we
a
can do
target
it.
of the media because we are part of the media.
Yes.
And there are some people who want to, make sure we're held to the same standards as, we're trying to hold everybody else to, so.
It's a good thing. I'm not worried about it at all. As bad as it sounds, I know that there's no money missing.
Yeah.
Everything is billed the way it was supposed to be. As far as I'm concerned, I'm happy with the audit, even though the auditors are in disagreement over what our cost is. But we agree to disagree, and we just move on. Probably next year's audit's going to be the same because we're also auditing the same funding. We're finishing up the rest of the contract. And if nothing changes, we're gonna agree to disagree again, because I told them in the meeting with the OPA, I go, I guess we're gonna look forward to you next year because this is gonna happen again, because we're done, but, we finished billing in September. They started auditing in September, so for the next year, this year, it'll probably happen again because we're still dealing with the same contract, but it is what it is, so, just know that, all of our funding is here. We try to be as transparent as possible with everything that we do. Our board approves everything. For all of our major purchases, we don't have a credit card program here, like a station card, so the board sees everything, and I'm comfortable with our finances here. Yeah.
Okay, can we move on? Right. Old business, this is just the board initiative, oh, no, this is something that we
Littering.
talked about last meeting at Rosemary's suggestion, and that was to try to incorporate this topic under the public service announcements.
Yeah.
So my question is, can we start to have the station look at this as well as, I mean, I know we're already running the distracted driving stuff. Can we add this to the mix?
Yes.
Is there just something you can pull off the shelf?
Not really. We'd have to, well, our drive crashed, in December. That was our, what do you call it, static, state drive. It crashed in December, so we lost a lot of content. So I've reached out already to, comms department to see if they had any island beautification video, and B-roll that we could use. So they're gonna pull what they have so we can, make something from this. But yes, we already started, talking about it and reaching out.
It's a really terrible problem. I mean, the littering and
Yeah, it is.
and if you're talking about the tourism industry, which keeps us going along with the military, it's really important. And when you see Korean and Japanese kids come on a field trip to pick up trash in our beach, that just really gets me. I mean, that is so embarrassing. And the fact that the lieutenant governor even told me that that GVB got 1,000 garbage cans. This was like a couple months ago. He's like, oh, don't worry. I don't know where they are, but they're not on the beach. I'm at
Saving them.
Pardon me?
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying they're not on the beach because I'm on the beach all the time.
We just have to create a
Public awareness campaign.
yes, so that everyone will be conscientious. When they go to the beach, enjoy everything, but don't throw the guns, don't throw the diapers, don't throw.
Yeah, ideally you take your trash home.
There's signs,
Take
but
a bag with you and take your trash with you, or put it in the trash can. I mean, it's just a.
Well, there's also no
it's an
enforcement.
everyday thing. It's an everyday.
Anyway, that's,
there's signs and stuffs, but you still see
Yeah.
people. They don't care, you know.
It
it's
begins
like-
at home too, you know.
It
There's
does.
some people, they
It
just,
does.
they're a mess, and so.
But we can sit back and do nothing, or we can try to do
Exactly.
something.
Yeah,
So we
yeah,
want to be proactive.
Yeah.
We want to.
yeah.
Okay.
One other item under old business, that was the multilingual spots.
yeah.
Have we had any movement on that?
You know what, let me check with Dawn. I know the last one, well, we did Korean and Chuk, and, I think we were working on Filipino. I have to follow up, I'm sorry about
Okay.
that. I think that's AJ's project.
Okay, great. Moving on.
PBS.
Sorry.
Buenos?
No. Go ahead.
New business. I
Buenos.
wanted to add this to the agenda because I enjoy watching our morning news program, but I watch it on YouTube, and it shows the amount of people watching, and the number is not generally very high. I know that's not all the people who are watching because you have broadcast and you have other ways of receiving that content. But my question is, how can we measure the number of people?
But it's 7 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yeah. I think
It's too
to measure
early.
to measure TV, we'd have to do like a formal media survey. There's only a couple companies that do it here. I think
Yeah.
Qmart is one of them. And I think for a survey, probably gonna cost about
Yeah.
$10,000.
Where are you getting your numbers from? You mean you can see on YouTube or you?
Yes.
Yeah, it tells you
It's
how many
on.
people are watching the feed.
Yeah.
On YouTube?
Yes.
But that doesn't,
Not-
we don't know how many people are watching it in their home on
Right.
television at seven in the morning. I know it's not me because I'm asleep.
$10,000 for a survey to find out how many people.
It wouldn't be specific to us. It's a total media survey.
Yeah, it's a total.
You can't do one specific to you because then it becomes skewed and then, it's not
That's with Mary
true
Lynch.
numbers. So when you do a media survey, you have to have just specific media questions that may pertain to you or not, like generic,
Do you-
like what news do you watch? What channel do you watch that news? What's the best time, like.
Yeah.
So, and it's this typical sample size is 500. So they call 500 people and then they get the results.
Yeah.
But it's for media across the board.
Yeah,
So it's a
yeah.
full media survey, not just people, like
No
that.
software available that does that kind of stuff.
No, it's manual.
Yep.
I have a question. what is the possibility of moving the time of Buenos?
Very possible. You know, it's difficult for us to run Buenos at 7 o'clock right now because the guys need to come in at 5. So when they come in at 5, that means they get off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That doesn't really leave us a lot of production, you know, support for the rest of the day or for any other projects. So when we, you know, we became really stressed when we were doing Buenos and the live basketball broadcast, because we had
After Buenos, they
no
leave.
production support for development or for anything else, because as soon as Buenos was done, they had to leave, because then they come in later in the afternoon to prepare for basketball. And by the time they're done with that, the game's at 8, they're not done till like 10, coming back here at 11. So it's very hard for us to do it at that time.
But didn't you say the governor is the one that wanted it at 7?
We wanted to do it at 7 because we, you know, like we wanted to be the first news. You know, I mean, the type of
The
content.
first news for the people who are awake.
Yeah, yeah.
Getting ready.
I'm thinking
Getting ready to go out.
But after doing it at 7 o'clock, it's really hard for us to do it here, especially as a government agency. We can't pay overtime. Part of the ARP funding was to be able to hire 3 other production broadcast techs to support Buenos, right? So we wouldn't stress our current production staff. But, you know, that we were supposed to hire through DOA, and we've been having such a hard time recruiting. People get to the point where they have to take a drug test, and then they disappear, or they have to process in to DOA, and they just don't call back, or, you know, so we haven't even been able to fill the 3 positions for Buenos. So we're using our production guys, which still leaves us very
Compromises,
thin.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's really hard for us to do a 5 o'clock news. So we're thinking, Don comes back from vacation on Monday, so I wanted to meet with him to see what was another feasible time. And you can see there's another show that they're working on that's a set for another show. It's kind of like a tiny desk concept from NPR. So we're,
What does it mean?
it's kind of like a music show.
Music? Oh.
Yeah,
Like a what?
it's a music show.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll show you a video after the meeting, but we're thinking about other options to make the workload easier here.
So what about the news? 7 o'clock in the morning is a little bit.
8, 9?
Maybe 8.
Yeah.
Or
We're thinking about something like that. I gotta work out the mechanics with Don and see what's the best option.
I think that most people who are up early, which is not me, if they're getting ready for work or driving, they're listening to the radio. They're not watching television. I think, I mean, if I was like taking a shower or, you know, whatever, ironing something, I'd be more likely to have a radio on than the television. So I don't think that's that many people that are watching any television at 7 o'clock in the morning. I mean,
you get up, you have to get ready, shower.
yeah, I know. But you might have the radio on, but not the
So,
television.
Well, YouTube, or YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah. it's-
Yeah, we're thinking of options. We're gonna have a production meeting next week and see what is feasible and what will work with production schedule, because right now we're having a difficult time. Our production guys are really spread thin, especially with it doesn't help that we have so many other projects, you know, like with development, right? We had a big project with Department of Public Health and Social Services. There was another project with Commission tomorrow. So we're gonna work it out next week.
Okay.
Okay, very good. New business, item 2, PBS
Conference?
PBS conference. What's up with that?
Where is that going to be?
It's gonna be in San Diego. It's the PBS annual meeting.
What dates?
Oh, they're both in
We
San
have-
Diego?
I did an estimate, travel estimate, it's on the back page if you.
Yeah, I got it.
No, but which dates?
The annual is from May 15 to May 17, And then the PBMA is May 30th to June 3rd.
So they're usually in different places. This is the first time they're both in.
Together.
They're different conferences,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, I know, I understand, but
So which one is the one that is best for people?
Well, PBMA, usually just Lorraine and I will go.
It's
because
finance.
That's like a finance conference. It has to deal with our grant, and we get all the certifications there, like all the, certifications that we need to get for the year in order to receive the grant. So it's, that's not a fun one at all. It really is just numbers all day and
They have
HR.
surveys, how to, different surveys, what has changed, what has not changed. what
Human resource
They add on,
policies and
human,
stuff.
yeah.
Okay, so is there anything for the
It's
board members?
It's,
or
no, not in that one, but in the annual meeting, there is one.
which is, when is the annual
The
meeting?
annual meeting is, from the
May,
15th to the 17th.
Of May?
it's on a sheet, Mary Flor.
Huh?
It's on, we have it, you have the paper.
Oh, because, I have like 3 weddings to attend this summer in the States. And my son lives in San Diego, so I'm planning to go over to visit him. So I don't know whether it will fall into these dates. I'll look around, I'll see. But if I am there, when that happens, then I don't mind attending.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh.
We kind of Lorraine did a preliminary budget. I know last year we were talking about bringing the entire board and some staff, but because of the construction, I thought we could propose that we just decrease it, but that would totally be up to the chair. If you'd like to bring the whole entire board, we can. This was just
Now, this,
The registration is,
it's about 550 if we register before, right?
Yeah,
560 or
$595.
something? Oh, $595.
what does
Yeah,
this
that's
say?
early.
$1,785. Oh, that's for
Oh,
develop.
That is three,
That's for
three,
3 people.
3 registrations.
Oh,
Yeah.
so-
Because you have that
Okay, I see it,
development,
I
there's
see.
3.
I missed the
then
3.
Board, there's 3.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
But if we register before the
The,
end of
the month before May, they have a
Yeah. I
deadline
think
by,
it's like
by April.
end of this.
But if not, then we have to add another $100. Yeah,
So right now, pre-registration is $595. So in the annual meeting, there's 2 tracks to the annual meeting. There's a track for the general managers, executives and board, and then there's another track for like development, production, and
Programming.
rest of the programming staff.
Okay.
So, but as board, you would be invited to attend anything. But the first day, we attend the annual meeting of the membership, and that's where all the GMs get together with all the board members, and we have a formal board meeting. They talk about the annual finances of PBS, their lobbying efforts in DC, and upcoming legislature or whatever that they have planned. And then later in that after the meeting, we get a quick brief on programming and what PBS is doing and what they have planned for the rest of the year. And then usually that's about, 4 or 5 hours. And then after that, for the rest of the conference, we are invited to attend the breakaway sessions. Yeah, where they talk about best practices, underwriting techniques, and whatever they're finding more effective this year, as well as programming, like their sizzle reels for the new programming. And so it's something really good that I think that we should attend. So I'll leave it to the chair.
Which one? The first one or the?
The annual meeting.
The first one.
Yeah, annual.
Yeah,
'cause it's
PBMA, I don't think you really
No,
need
it's
to-
just for
It really
Ina
has a
and
lot
Lorraine.
to do with the Corporation of Public Broadcasting grant that we get, and we just get all of our certification for the grant.
Oh, so, but
And the
this one,
reporting.
You're going to attend that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we didn't go to PBMA, we wouldn't be able to receive the money because we would not be certified.
Oh, okay.
And we tried it online and it was very hard for
Yeah, it's like
us.
3:00 in the morning.
So so you, at least you two are going to this one, to the
Yeah.
E&D.
We wanted to put accounting, so some of these reportings, because it was only me and Belle, so I was the one that was doing most of all the reportings, which is 3 reportings that we have to do a year. And then also, so I was just telling Ina, I said, maybe we can just get the new girl
Bring the
to
Cammy.
do it.
You have a new accountant?
Yeah,
We have
our
one.
accounting clerk that we have.
But she's not familiar with any of the CSG stuff.
Yeah.
What's her name?
A Cammy,
Cammy?
Cameron, yeah.
So it would be good for her to get trained because, and it's also good as,
Now, is she like a real accountant? Did she graduate from college in accounting? I
no,
mean,
she's not a CPA.
Yeah, she's not a
an
CPA. That's why we
accounting-
did it clerk.
She's a clerk.
You know, someone to help Belle enter and,
Enter
you know,
into QuickBooks
she knows.
and-
but she had work experience, or she GCC or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
She went to school and she had college. I mean, it's not her degree, accounting degree, but.
Okay. But you're
just,
happy with her?
Certificate, I saw her.
But you're happy with, do you think she's good?
Yeah, she's learning,
Yeah.
with Belle, with this audit, she's just like, oh my God, we have to pull all this up? Yep. She's
Yeah.
getting to know what we need for all the audits. So she's been pulling out files for, you know, Belle and the auditor when they ask.
Sounds good to me. What's contract worker?
He's our producer. That's for Kel. Kel's the one producing all
Oh,
of
Kel.
PBS University
Okay.
and higher learning, and I
Okay.
think that really he would benefit from coming to this.
So he should go.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
that programming is really like,
Yeah.
in line with
So,
PBS.
With what
so
the
you
PBS
have
is
here
doing.
3 board members? Or-
Yes, but we can include the entire board if the entire board would like to come.
Oh, okay. Well, I would like to come, but not, I don't know about these dates, 15 to 7, I have to check. I know that the following one, you know, like the last one, is because my niece is getting married on the 10th of June. So if I go maybe like 2 weeks, it can be into that window, but I don't know about this one.
In previous years, have people from development gone?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Development, programming, and the GM.
Yeah.
That's,
So you think it's worth it? It would be,
Yes.
so you think that you encourage the board to go?
well, if you guys really want to know what PBS and how they produce and how, you know, what programs coming up, what the lineup and
Yeah.
things like
I
that.
think for
and-
sure it's very beneficial for development. 'cause
Yeah,
they're the
with
ones selling the
development, yep.
programming, and for
How to do
sure,
the
like,
reporting
at least
too.
our producers should go. The board, yes, of course, you should go. I mean, you'll get to, you know, like, you'll be able to, there's a lot of insight that you get from the annual meeting, especially the meeting of the members. You really get to, you know, a snapshot of what PBS Corporation,
But the GMs, like every GM like you, get up and say something?
no.
No, because that would be a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they bring their board members, so, you know, at least they'll bring the chairman,
Yeah.
chairman will come.
Okay, do we need to take any action today?
We just need to figure, well, you know,
This is just an estimate
This is
that
an
I put
estimate?
together, and usually, right now, it's showing 16, but if we go closer
the
to
airfare.
March, April, the airfare will
we'll
go up.
to like maybe 2,400.
So we're looking at.
Is this through Hawaii?
Yes.
That's the
Yeah.
cheapest way?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think if we can get our tickets this month, that would be beneficial, because if we wait I don't wanna pay $2,000 a person.
Yeah, I mean, that's
So I would like to suggest that definitely our chairman should go. And, I mean, Rosemary's been on the board for a long time.
Yeah, I would be interested in going.
Yeah. I'd be willing to step back until another one, you know, so you can look at it that way.
Well, I'm planning on going already to the States, so if I can make it, then I'll be happy to attend, but as of now, I'm not sure.
Okay,
So but if you really think that it would be beneficial, then I'll try to incorporate it into my schedule.
The last time that the board was able to interface with PBS CPB folks was when Johnny Sablon was the general manager, and he and I went, and it was held in Honolulu. And I think it was American Samoa,
Hawaii was in a
and
pool
Guam, and Hawaii, and there may have been one or two other smaller
that he went.
stations. But that was very interesting.
Yeah.
To be able
That was
to.
a different, that was a different.
Yeah, because this one's like
Yeah, this
all
annual
PBS.
is.
Yeah, that was a specific
Yeah.
Yeah.
meeting that was called just for the regional
Yes, yes.
partners. And
That
that was
would
why
be
it was so interesting, because
Yeah.
we just focused on,
But this annual is everything.
It's every station. They
Yes.
highlight the stations.
Yeah.
And you know what's really beneficial is the breakout sessions when you get to, like, sometimes when they may talk about, like, how COVID has affected your
Station,
community, right, your station. Then we all, like, you know, we're all
I can
just
imagine the
talking
people
about, like,
from Guam getting
Yeah,
questions
and
like,
even-
"Where's Guam?"
No,
Oh,
of course.
every
when
year.
You sit there every year.
Yeah.
How long was your flight?
Yeah, I know. One of my friends just wrote to me.
But they never gave
She
us a
said,
prize for
"What
the longest
language do they
flight.
speak in
But
Guam?"
there's also Virgin Islands that come and Samoa. That
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're the only brown ones, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to hear. You know, you hear like what's going on in the
Yeah.
Northwest and
Yeah.
the East Coast,
And they-
you know,
they
like
just need to
Florida, what's happening.
Update our information.
okay, so my question is, what can we do today to move forward on this?
If we can get a firm number of who's coming, so we can research price rate, we can get final rates. I'd like to purchase the tickets as soon as possible, just because airfare is our one variable, you know. And also, I want to reserve rooms at the hotel, because I've been
If
to
you
conferences
don't,
where we're not in the hotel, and it's just a
it's
pain in the
gonna be
butt to
hard.
find an Uber every single time.
Do you know what hotel it is?
I'll have to check. But
It's not
it's
really
just
critical.
way easier
No,
to
I'm
walk
just asking.
downstairs than to get
yeah,
out of your
no.
hotel, find an Uber, you know. we
Marriott.
have Wi-Fi.
It's at Marriott San Diego
Okay.
Marina.
Yeah, I'd be interested in
I've never
going
been
for
to
sure.
San Diego, I don't really know. Oh, I think I've been.
Because it's no one in my family's birthday or anything, and, you know.
Okay, so I would be interested in going. That's two.
So, I am interested in going, but can I let you know for sure, maybe in the next 2 weeks or so?
Absolutely. But why don't you go
So-
ahead and do what you need to do?
So whatever we need and.
I think maybe if you're already gonna be in the area, we would only really need to get hotel and per diem for you.
The registration
And
and
the
the per diem.
registration fee.
If
So
you-
I
if
think
you-
maybe
if
we
you
could
would
just
like.
focus on airfare.
Okay.
and-
Yeah, if you're willing, then, you know, we can pay you the per diem and we'll pay for the registration.
Okay.
Since you're there already. I mean, if
Yeah.
that's okay with
Hotel, maybe.
Donovan.
Totally. Yes. Okay,
And then with, INAS is a back-to-back conference, so we don't need to pay that airfare, right? Are you just gonna do the 1 week? Because after this, the next, it's the 20 to 1 week gap again.
I'll have to check the dates, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
It's
I-
10 days, so between the two.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's ridiculous to pay the plane fare again, but
So, like, for instance, you go from the 15th to the 17th, and then it's less than 10 days, so you have to go back again?
Well, that's, I was telling her, look at that too.
I wonder why they do it like that. Why don't they just have them?
They're totally.
'Cause it's different.
It's totally a different conference.
PBMA and PBS conference is a different conference.
They're having a public.
Yeah,
media
but the
conference.
all the GMs would be going to both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they do.
when does PBMA begin?
The
Right there,
28th.
the 28th.
To the 22nd. They're
You don't-
also having a
Sunday
public
paper.
media conference next month, in March. Oh, no, next month, and our SEC lawyer was
February,
asking if I was
March.
going, but we're not a member of
Yeah.
APS.
Yeah.
But we're not a member.
I guess you would have to do the math and figure out what's gonna be less expensive, staying 10 days, waiting for the next
Or coming
conference,
back and,
or
Yeah, if the airfare's
Flying.
1,600,
flying back.
so that's another 3,000 something, plus hotel. But then you would be responsible for your own
Yeah, it's like
accommodations in the 10 days?
Yeah, if
so
she wants to
me,
take her
it's better
leave.
just to come back,
Yeah, that's a lot.
unless I
Even like inexpensive hotel.
Okay, well, figure out the numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's cheaper to just stay there for 10 days.
But she has to stay for a hotel, and then she have to pay for that herself.
yeah, and that will be her leave time if she wants to, you know, but if,
I know.
You could have your foot surgery in San Diego.
Yeah, I won't be able to walk.
yeah.
It's not that bad, really. One thing I know about is foot surgery.
So it's the
So I guess
18, then,
therefore, what's today? What is today?
26.
Do you think you can let us know by the end of the month?
Yes.
Because, or by,
well,
by
if we're not doing,
31st,
if we're not,
because-
if she's gonna go, then we don't have to worry about the airfare.
Okay.
But
But
the,
the
for the registration, we can put her in, we can pay for your registration at this price,
Well-
and then, we can get reimbursed with
I
it,
just have
but,
to check the dates of the wedding.
Okay.
Because I know that this, one is in June.
Oh.
And I don't know what the one in May, but I don't know what time on.
okay.
But
Because of the-
I don't
this
want
one and this
to
one,
go
that's okay.
and stay there for over a month. I mean, it has to be that it fits my.
Yeah, your
my
schedule.
thing. So if it doesn't fit my schedule, then I'll call you and say, well, look, I cannot, if you want me to go, I'll go, but then you have to pay for my airfare.
So May 13th
Yeah.
is a Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, so the sooner you can get your information back to them, we can make that decision. Okay, anything else there? I would like to invite Mr. Francis, give him the opportunity to attend as well. I have a feeling he may not because of his
Teaching.
schedule, but I would like to at least make sure that I touch base with him today
Okay.
and ask him. So I'll get back to you today on that.
You-
Okay.
At least,
So it's on a Saturday?
if they approve.
Does that mean
Cannot go over or under.
we'd have to leave on Friday,
Under, but not, if we stay in within this.
13th of May?
We're a day ahead, so.
Yeah,
maybe we should make it 37 then, because what if it's a few cents off?
Ina? It's the 13th, yeah. Yeah,
It's the
we're,
15th to the 17th of May?
it says 13th. On this
Oh,
page.
that's
Where?
travel dates, because we
Yeah.
have to get there like the
We
day before.
usually do 2 days before the conference.
Yeah.
So
So
if you're
we'd
looking
leave,
at-
we'd leave on the 13th?
13th.
Oh, so the conference is actually 3 days?
The conference on the 15th.
15th,
Oh.
So you get
17th.
there, if you're
And
going,
not be
leaving on the
asleep.
13th Guam.
We get there on the 14th.
Yeah,
then
you
conference
get
is-
there on the 13th, but
Next
it's gonna be
morning.
probably later on the afternoon.
Yeah.
So that's why the conference starts on the 15th.
So it's 15th,
you have
16th,
2 days,
17th.
13 and 14, yeah.
It makes sense because with.
And
the
then we
deadline
leave on
and
the
everything,
Thursday?
Yeah.
you are
We
all-
leave on the
you
18th?
cannot concentrate. if you-
Then you leave on the 17th, yeah. So it ends on the 17th, you leave on the 18th.
Yeah, because the 17th will be at 5, the
Yeah.
last thing.
So that's why the next, we put in the
You leave
18th,
in the
because you
morning
leave in the
or
morning.
next day.
So when we get back to Guam,
It'll be the 19th,
oh, okay.
because you're leaving there on the 18th, then, Guam is already one day.
So I get, okay, so we have, I'll ask Joey if he'd like to attend. Mayor Floor
I gotta watch my time.
and Judy. I mean, there's only 5 of you guys. If you wanted to all come, it's not a big deal. We can,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not convenient for me
okay.
This year?
because I'm traveling next month.
Okay,
Okay.
And then,
okay,
Well, there's, next year too,
Yeah.
yeah.
okay. So if anything, I would like to purchase the tickets as soon as possible.
Okay?
And you're gonna add on another one? Are you gonna do your 3? Because if you don't do that 3, you can.
I know, I'm gonna have to go pretty soon to pick up my
Okay.
granddaughter. This meeting's taking a long time. I mean, I understand we had all these things to do, but,
So it's 3, so yeah, if we just
so we
add
still
one
have
more,
these 2
Over here,
cards.
we'll just add one.
okay.
So then that's about this, right? For this?
No, you're, this one.
3110 amount plus 3110 is 2889.
And then add that 18.
Employee uniform?
We're trying to figure out what the amount is so that we can.
So it can go not
get
over.
An approval.
If so the board can approve that amount, and we
Not to
can work
exceed.
not to exceed that amount, so that
Um,
we're putting in one more board in case Joey, wants to attend. At least we have it already in the budget that not to exceed this amount. Okay?
So the amount is we'll just say 40. It's 39 and some change.
39,311. So
Maybe
if
just
we
say
go with a
40,000.
budget of 40,000 for travel and not to exceed that?
Is that just airfare?
No, that's the whole
airfare,
thing.
Hotel,
Registration,
and per diem.
yeah. It's airfare, registration, and per diem.
And the hotel. Oh,
No, hotel, no.
That's the
Per diem is,
It's
it's,
hotel and
it's your
meal.
hotel, your meals, you know.
Okay, so you need a motion to approve a budget not to exceed $40,000 for travel and expenses for the May 15 to 17
The annual and the PBMA
PBS
conference.
annual and PBMA conferences.
Yes.
Excuse me, it says 36 to,
Yeah, but we're adding one more board.
Oh.
If Joey would like to attend, so we need to add on one more board.
all right. So I second the motion.
You need to make the motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so I made a motion that we approve the estimated travel budget to
least
attend
40.
the annual PBS meeting and the PMBA conference for
Month of-
2023.
I second,
And the travel budget is not to exceed,
not
Oh,
to
yeah,
exceed
not to
40,000.
exceed 40,000 for all for the board members.
And the staff.
And
And the
staff.
staff.
okay?
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we doing this, the requisition?
I think
Yes.
the procurement, we don't really need to do it because one is only, we put it on the agenda, but the cards is like $150.
Yeah.
And
But
the-
the requisition for 42, we need to approve for the
1,500?
shirt. The shirts?
1,500,
Oh, it's only 50?
yeah.
Oh, I
So
thought it
the
was 30.
uniform shirts, we're ordering 100 pieces, it's 1,540, so we don't need to.
Oh, 100 T-shirts for the
The dry
workers?
fit uniform
It's
shirts, yeah.
employees on board.
What you're wearing.
It's a, yeah.
Oh,
So we're gonna have a navy
So
blue
it's a
and
quick,
gray.
quick dry, quick
Yeah.
dry
Oh.
polo.
So 50 navy blues, 50.
okay.
Okay, so we don't need to,
We don't need to approve it, yeah.
okay, so, I really
'Cause
need
it's
to
less.
go, so can we?
Yes, we can.
Yes, yes,
Next meeting,
February.
23rd?
Either the 16th, and then if anything again, the 23rd? Is that,
this is 26.
I think that maybe the
16th in 3 weeks.
I think the 23rd would be,
15th is a Wednesday.
Thursday?
Oh,
The 23rd?
well, the 15th is a Wednesday.
So at 12:30?
My
I
diary's
will be
wrong.
gone on the 23rd, but I'll be here on the 16th.
Okay,
but the 16th is only,
3 weeks away.
Weeks, okay.
Well, if Joey still, if Joey is okay with it, at least we already have our 4, so 4 quorum.
So what are we shooting for, the 16th?
23rd?
23rd.
Oh, the 23rd.
We'll make
okay,
it a
so
month.
February 23rd.
Okay,
At 12:30.
yes, 12:30.
12:30, okay.
Lunch to be served at 11:30 or 11ish.
Okay, why don't we just say, for us, 11:30, 12 to be here, and then we begin 12:30. Does that work? I mean, I'm going
Well,
to,
we want the meeting to start at
At
12:30,
12:30.
right?
right, well,
Yeah.
I am just going to say here at 12. So I make sure I'm here by 12.
Okay,
Sounds good.
okay.
Then, to me, nothing changes.
All
We're
right.
here by 12, we start 12:30.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, so,
Motion to adjourn?
okay, I move that we adjourn.
Adjourn at 12, at 1,
Second?
1, is it 1:57, right?
Yep.
1:57,
Okay,
yeah.
adjourned.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.